Super Mario World, Kaizo Race, week 198 by Koopa Caverns by Cadelic. Ah, you're welcome. Have fun, everyone. See ya. Oh man, this is through the fire and flames. I don't know if you can actually make Mario go fast enough. And also, before they made the message skip thing mandatory, Koopa Caverns. Okay. Progress of a sort. I guess if you guys ever did a like montage thing, you're welcome to use any of that testing footage too. I know people like doing montages of things. I always thought it'd be cool to get into one of those, but I've never actually been good enough at anything anyone cares about, Kaizo-wise, for it to matter. And I don't know how you actually submit clips. I think Fries told me once that you had to, like, be in the Discord and submit to things. A Discord somewhere. Like, you had to go to, what was it? Barb's Discord to submit GP... Oh, he died. GPW3 clips. Would have been interesting to see what he would have made of any of the chat hacking stuff of that when I did that. Just because, like, really. This level is cool. It's got the funky flow. Fell asleep? What did you miss? I beat Daizo and Jamie's horrible Mario 1 style Bowser boss. Kind of. I beat it, definitely. The kind of is referring to it being kind of Mario 1-y. But it also wasn't. It just had Mario 1 physics. And is meant 100% as a shitpost, so... Not surprising. Hey, Pokey! I'm happier now! It's the nature of things. Pokey just makes one happy. It's the smiling face. Anyway. In other news, I'm really happy. I finally wrote the script I needed to write to test out something that's going to speed up my moderation stuff a little bit, too. Why is what even a thing? Pokey? Because someone at some point volunteered to get me a Pokey sprite, and so now we have Pokey, the sprite. And Pokey's awesome. Who doesn't love Pokey? Like, Pokey is one of the best... best sprites. Oh, the Bowser? Oh, Jamie's making this cursed SMB1 hack that you can easily tell is cursed from the get-go. And so, it has a boss that Daizo made. That, if I'm not mistaken, may or may not be modified noob boss. I swear that one of those attacks is off-the-shelf noob bossedness. But, yeah, that basically is the answer. For the lulz, as it were. It's on Watermelon Road. Huh. I gotta hold B upon entering the triangle thing, and then back off on the juice right there. Okay, well, we've already failed it, but... good to keep trying. Like, I'm 90% sure that Upper Koopa is not for show. Dang it. But yeah. Did it. It's done. I'm letting go of the pain. It took me about an hour to beat it. Took Jamie 10 minutes, but Jamie's an expert at doing weird bosses, I think. Did Frog's Wrath in one go. Something I certainly wasn't able to do. Which I guess reminds me, like, got stuff to finish. Maybe I should play Everhood, too. Been trying to decide when and where I want to play the sequels. Because I got good sequels sitting around that need a play in at some point. Everhood 2 and Deltarunes 3 and 4. Which I've seen mercifully little of Deltarune 3 and 4, thankfully. Aside from GDQ ending with them, which, I get why, but I didn't like it. I get it, but I don't like it. Oh yeah, I didn't even finish talking about the thing I wrote. It basically takes cuts and things and turns them in and fixes up my video game numbers, my timing numbers, my chapter numbers automatically, so I don't have to do it by hand, which I've been doing far too often. And it looks like it works fine, so since I tested on a moderation, and the reason for testing on a moderation was that in the event that I really screwed something up, it would be recoverable easily by just removing one row from a database that keeps track of all of the YouTube cuts. Is that what I need to do? Do I need to go faster? It keeps track of all the YouTube cuts, and so by doing a recent moderation, I could just get away with fixing that up later, whereas like Baldur's Gate 2 stuff is so old that it's not, he doesn't even have some of the, like, quality of life stuff that I used to have around for it. Which is a problem, because I need some of those things. Means I do need to boot up the other machine, but I need to find those VODs, which I have some ability to guess their names, but... Need to be a hair faster. But it's annoying, and then it's a bunch of copying. I already did a bunch of copying today. Dang it. I'm getting closer. But anyway. I might just do that and then run the silence stuff on it, because I have that tool already written. If I clip that jump, I might have a little bit better of a time. But anyway, such a tool does make my life a little bit easier, because then I can just like fix everything up the way I wanted to, and then just run the script, and it will fix up the moderation. It'll fix up the chapter markers, and then I'm gonna write the code to fix up the moderation markers too, because I haven't written that yet. But it's one of those, like, once I have the code that handles the coalescing and everything, it becomes a lot easier to do. Because the coalescing and fixing up was really the challenging part. And I came up with a really clever way of handling that with a bookmarklet, which is probably a word that people haven't heard in a long time. But basically, this was a thing that people were excited about at some point, where you'd use, like, tiny snippets of JavaScript that you'd write and put as a bookmark, because you can run JavaScript in a bookmark. JavaScript is a URL, bizarrely, a URL handler type. So you can just run JavaScript by clicking a bookmark thing. I've written more than a few in my years. To be fair, the first one I stole was from a really dumb website called Pornzilla, who was passing out bookmarks that worked in Firefox to try and make it better for the purposes of consuming pornography. This was on Hacker News or Reddit or something at some point. But the linked images macro turned out to be really convenient, so, and I've made changes to that over the years as things have changed. Need to hold B. Like, that's one of the things I'm really bad at, is remembering to get my half-8 B presses in. Okay, almost worked. I also freed up a bunch of disk space by doing... I'm making that so much harder on myself than it needs to be. But yeah, bookmarklets. They are a cool technology that doesn't really ever get talked about anymore because people don't really do anything with that kind of thing anymore. Consumer web versus the older, more technological web and whatnot. It goes back to my complaints about Firefox and the like. It's funny. The original way that web servers were supposed to work were supposed to allow random people to be able to edit files on them. At least that's how Tim Berners-Lee wanted it to work. Of course, this was a terrible idea in practice. But you could see it in the old SGI stuff where they had ideas around that kind of thing. It'd be cool to, like, play on an SGI machine at some point. Like, rig up a VM, mess around for a few minutes. PB. But honestly, I really do think it has to, like, how cool SGI stuff has to do more with what was done with them, really, than the thought about, like, actually doing something with one nowadays. It'd be kind of cool to, like, mess around with what soft image, whatever the 3D rendering tools were. But at the same time, like, is there a way to achieve the same sort of effect with Blender? Probably. Is there utility in learning an ancient editing app when I could learn something that actually matters? Not really. So I think it's an interesting idea, if nothing else. But it's also clearly a waste of time. Tablets and time travel later today? Oh, nice! Yeah, I got a couple packages today, and I was happy to see them. One of them I'd completely forgotten about, which is really funny. A few weeks ago, the Yeti had a t-shirt, and I'm like, my dad is getting that t-shirt. It just has to happen. I don't know if he'll ever wear it, but he has to have it. I'm sending a bunch of stuff with my sister around Thanksgiving to go to my dad, because she's going down there for Thanksgiving, so I figure I'll send down some Christmas stuff, because that'll be easier than, like, actually mailing it. Oh, that's what that's there for. I am absurdly hot on that trail. Okay, okay. But it's a t-shirt that says Moggies, and it looks like the Buc-ee's beaver. Which, if you've never been to a Buc-ee's, you have missed out. It's one of the weirdest things that exists, because it's a gas station-themed Walmart. But damned if it's not actually really good for what it is. Like, if I had a choice between hitting up a Buc-ee's and a regular old gas station on a road trip, I'll pick a Buc-ee's every time. 1, they have really large, really clean bathrooms. 2, they serve barbecue. 3, they have everything you could ever possibly need to tailgate. Like, Squiggle's like, oh, it's a truck stop. I'm like, no, it's not merely a truck stop. It just isn't. It's an experience unto itself. Just thinking about it's actually making me kind of hungry. I did a road trip in 21. I ate a lot of Buc-ee's Raisinets. Because I wanted actual real Raisinets. Like, for some reason, Raisinets as a brand seem to only exist in movie theaters now, which weirds me out. But I like chocolate-covered raisins. Like, Trader Joe's ones are good. But it's one of those I had a craving for a very specific type of junk food, you know? If you want almond M&Ms, some M&Ms and almonds are not going to suffice, you know? You actually want the full combo. She got a bag of cookies recently, as being the treat things, from a local grocery store, and I realized 2 things. 1, they've made them worse. 2, they made them smaller. They used to be 18 a pack, and now they're 12. So I won't be buying more of those. Also, they're just not very good. They never really were, but it's one of those things I convince myself periodically. They put one of those in your state, you'll have to go see if it lives up to it. I assure you it does. I mean, assuming it's as good as the one I went to in Dallas, Fort Worth. I actually turned around to go to it because I was like, no, I have to go to a Buc-ee's. Not by much, like I missed it by an exit or something. It really wasn't that big of a deal. But still, it was worth it. Of course, I'm not one of those like people who will actually go and like line up at an In-N-Out the first day it opens. Though Squiggles has always wanted to go to one of the In-N-Outs further south just for the sake of it, because he loves him sitting In-N-Out. Made it. H me. Okay. Okay, it's not a full jump either. Oh, it's a wacky regrab. Alright. I think I needed that. The thing about In-N-Out is it's pretty good, but it's still just a fast food burger at the end of the day. Oh, have I done this wrong? Let me think about this for a second. Pokey on Pokey violence? Absolutely. There can be only one. It's a much chiller second half so far. I'm not sure this changed what I wanted. Closer. The nice thing about Romhack Race's levels is typically the second half is chiller than the first half. Ah, that normalizes it to what CO wanted. Okay, I understand now. I do like that first jump. It looks a bit wonky at first, but I do enjoy it. How's it going? Pretty good. How you doing, Pointless? Been getting over being sick. Feeling better. About 80%, I'd say. I still have a little bit of coughing going on. But, like, not nearly as much as I did Friday, thankfully. And, yeah, I think I'll probably end up going to D&D on Friday. This next upcoming Friday. Should message my buddy and see if he'll, loan me a thing. Want to play some spooky games. Too late, too late. One of them is on the GameCube, which would be easy to play with my buddy's jailbroken Wii. So I don't actually have a Wii. I just have a Wii U, which doesn't really do the same thing, and the jailbreaking on that is a little more tenuous, unfortunately. Am I a player or DM? Player. I've thought occasionally that being a DM would be fun, but I don't think I'd want to DM D&D. What I think I'd probably do is want to, like, try doing, what is it, Shadowrun? I legitimately think that our group would enjoy the hell out of Shadowrun. We love planning heists. Pretty much everything I've read about Shadowrun seems to indicate that that's the main mode of Shadowrun, is planning heists and executing them. So I think that that would be a lot of fun. And of course, since I like doing technical stuff, I'd probably end up implementing some things where, like, when people roll perception, they might be given information over Discord or something instead of being told directly. Try to come up with some sort of integration thing. Now, we had two people who were DMs. C, I really wish I had a different nickname for him. I don't have a good nickname for him. Used Wingman a few times, but that's not really one that ever stuck. I've been calling him our DM, which doesn't work so well. C did the first long campaign. Then Wingman did the second one. The first one was the first one he'd ever DM'd, and it was a 4E right off the shelf right off the shelf? Yeah, right off the shelf. Campaign that had, like, you know... Why do I keep dying there? It was more or less just like, here are the books, do the thing. And quite frequently, he would read ahead 1 or 2 options and then would do the other thing. It'd be like, oh yeah, I read ahead if you're going to walk in the front door or go in the sewers. And be like, let's fly in. And be like, ah, shit. You'd be like, okay, play Halo for a bit. I'm going to go read up what I'm supposed to do here. Okay. Oh, I need him. Pokey, please. Pokey. Ah! H! Your friends and you play this one-shot pen and paper game called Honey Heist. It's really fun and easy to get into. Okay. Are you bees in this game? I've also heard really good things about Mork, like Morkborg and other things. Your bears? Oh, that's fun. Okay. So relatively on in the second campaign, we ran into some bears and we sent them through a portal, I think mostly for kicks. And much, much later, in a thing that was very reminiscent of Portal, we ran into the bears again, except they gained class levels, but they still weren't very good at it because they were bears. Like, the bear wizard wasn't a very good wizard. The bear berserker did quite a bit better. Like I said, still not 100%. Yeah, that campaign was fun. The second one was fun. The third one was more complicated. They had this idea, the two of them, that they would trade off DMing duties to make it easier, because both of them were getting more complicated life stuff. During the process of this campaign running, both of them had children. C's got 2 now, and our DM Wingman has 3. Oh, this was safe. So I could have... Okay. I see what I did wrong here. Oh. But the idea is that periodically they'd switch off in one campaign or the other, and have different kinds of things, and whether or not loot or whatever made it over was up to the discretion of the main DM. So Wingman's was the world we were actually in, and then would occasionally fall asleep and end up in the other world. The first time this happened, we got instantly nuked by a dragon, and Wingman was kind of disappointed because he's like, well, I thought I was getting a short break. He was not, in fact, getting a short break. The funniest thing is that C's stuff was all original stuff. I'm pretty sure mostly original stuff. He cribbed some ideas from places, but who doesn't? Like, there was an area where he ended up in a place of pure thought, and I'm like, I know what book you stole that from. This is how Squiggles stole the inn, ended up placing in front of his visible, and then he was invisible for the rest of the campaign, which was admittedly really funny and very inconvenient. I cannot do that. But it was funny, so. Like, I have full freedom there to scroll down a bit. Like, this part is much chiller than even the last one. When I think about Kaizo, is sometimes is really Ninja Warrior. You ever seen Ninja Warrior? Ow. It's a Japanese game show where people of all types try to compete in an obstacle course effectively. Some people are very serious about it, like the guy who's won multiple times, who is, of all things, a gas station attendant. and has built training courses for himself. But then there's people who come in cosplay and eat it on the first jump, and they're just happy to be there. That kind of nonsense. But the different sections have very different, kind of how they work. The first section is speed and precision, all that jazz. Like you're being timed. Okay. What is being asked of me here? Oh, I need to slide. Goodbye, other pokey. Oh. And the second one has a lot more raw strength. Like, the first one's very much agility-based. And then, maybe it's the third phase. I'm trying to remember, but one of them isn't even timed. It's, you can take as much time as you want as long as you don't get stuck. Which is saying something. There's an awful lot of very tricky, like, bar stuff going on there where you need to, like... Basically, you have a chin-up bar that is not attached to anything, and you're, like, riding it across an abyss by moving it and swinging your body and other such trapeze-type motions. Really fun stuff. It's one of those things that they, like, later tried to make into an American version, and it just didn't work. Mostly because the announcers weren't as much fun. Like, seriously, I don't know why when they made an American version, they didn't go get the MXC guys. Because MXC took the concept of Takashi's Castle, and basically turned it into something Americans found hilarious. Not to say that playing it straight couldn't work, but Guy Ledouche couldn't make it any worse. And of course, the American Ninja Warrior knew it was inferior because you know what the prize for winning American Ninja Warrior was? A trip to Japan to compete in Ninja Warrior. Like, quite clearly, they knew they were not competing well on this front. Alright. But I digress. Reminds you of that weird show you've seen in the past, Sports Baka, had the irritating stick game. Guy who failed at the game and basically trained all day on cardboard, remade visions at home, was very good at it. He came back and failed right at the start before entering the maze, which is hilarious. That sounds like Ultimate Bonsuke, if I'm not... But I'm not sure. Sports Baka. I'm gonna have to look that up because that does sound cool. Slope Munchers. That's the end. Okay. I don't know where the end is. Got it down. But yeah, actual episodes of Takashi's Castle are really interesting. Because they're so different than the MXC stuff. They actually follow, like, the people and not just, like... have everyone do the event, do the specific challenge, and then go on to the next challenge. And in fact, if you watch it, you quickly realize that, like, it's cut across multiple episodes. And to make it worse, we never actually get to see the actual castle. Because no one ever gets up there. There's, like, an event at the end with weird, like, cars and lasers that you have to do that you never see in MXC. But yeah, MXC, good stuff. Kenny Bielacek and whatnot. Right you are, Ken! Actually saw someone use that as a bit of a gag as a news network. Most extreme news network with the same two guys. Was rereading a webcomic because I was in the mood for it. It's a good one. It's one of those, dang, I cannot believe how long this has been going now, ones. I think it started like 2010. 2010-ish. And it's been going bi-weekly, semi-weekly, whatever the 2 times a week schedule is. There's no free fall. That guy's a machine. Admittedly, this dude's working A in color, and B with much more complicated designs and backgrounds than the free fall guy is, so... And only occasionally gives up and draws flat stick figure type things. Looking at you, Sluggy Freelance. Which I think is still going. One of those, like, things I would not recommend starting at this point in time. Like Homestuck. Just say no. Don't even try. It's not worth it. Okay. I forgot. It was a weird show with weird challenges. We could do it on money. One of them was to try to cry in a short amount of times. Parkour across a slippery course barefoot without falling. Something with a parachute. A sushi-eating course that often claimed a victim at the ice dessert plate and stick thing. And the stick thing. Co-op where two people carried basically multiple cans sideways. Similar to stick and had to constantly push it against each other while navigating course. Interesting. Yeah, must be an app, like, different Japanese game show than one of the ones I'm familiar with, because damn. But I'm not surprised that there's more than one of them. I mean, more than two of them, really. It's three if we count Ninja Warrior. The Ninja Warrior is more of like an event thing. The Bansuke one also had a bunch of really cool things. Like, one of the courses was like a bicycle course, where people had to do a lot of fancy trick riding and like ride across very narrow things and do a lot of bunny hopping. Just fun stuff. Last time I watched any of that, it was when someone was broadcasting it in some random category on Twitch. Though I'd mean to watch the Universal... been wanting to watch the Takashi's Castle pilot they made. Because as a kid, I actually saw this. They made an American Takashi's Castle pilot at Universal Studios with Beetlejuice and other things. And for the longest time, I didn't know what this was, and then I finally saw it again. Because as a kid, I think I saw like a recording on a VHS tape that someone had at like summer camp or something. And it was weird. The part I remember most distinctly was there was a cart. People get in this cart, and then there would be a lot of math. It'd be like 4 times 6 times 2 times something. At the very end, Beetlejuice would ask you what the answer was, and if you answered wrong, he'd let the cart continue forward into the slime. Or the cart would, like, throw you into the slime or something. Sushi one is funny also, because people need to eat everything on the plates that are on the belt moving towards the gate. They're only allowed to eat one dish at a time. They clear all the dishes. But if food crosses the gate, they lose. The ice cream... Oh, that is awful. Like, you just get a brain freeze. Like, truly nightmarish. Like eating a Slurpee quickly. Okay. Free from the Slope Muncher. I forgot what I was doing! Falling is the worst thing. But yeah, I remember watching this and loving it at the time, but didn't know what it was. One of those, like, memories that was there, but uncertain. And I think someone did find it. I found like an SWF or like an FLA file or something of it somewhere. Probably should actually watch it though. I haven't. Ooh. The thing I love about the Simpsons episode with the Japanese game show is it's really not that far from the truth. There we go. Just wasn't that far from the truth. Thanks for the GG. That was a fun level. I'll go to the GG house. We have to go to the GG house, clearly. It's a spooky house with lots of GGs. Thank you for playing. Check out the SGDQ 2020 or 2022 race levels and Bun Bun 3 for more testing starting soon. Man, we're on Bun Bun 4 now, aren't we? Music by False Circus and Crimson ZN. Testing by Darkenine, Sequel, Kerr, and RBP. RBP is still around. It's in this house. This GG house. Oh, nothing. Episode give you a long life on fear of wasabi. The problem is it's not even wasabi most of the time. It's just horseradish dyed green. They've been tricking us. Whole time. Big conspiracy. Absolutely humongous conspiracy. Anyway, that level was good.